Check 1, 2. I was talking to myself. Check 1, 2. I was talking to myself. Yeah, we gonna bring. We want listen. The standing. What's up about the standing question is family. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember when I first started talking? Anybody remember when I first started talking the conversation about what is FBA? Do anybody remember? It was only last September when I asked the question, what is FBA? What is it all about? And that's what started the Tariq Nasheed trying to get at me. And then we had to research him, and we've been on a series here. You know what I'm saying? So that's right. That's right. We've been on a Nipsey hustle here. That's right. We've been on a marathon. You know what I mean? Hey, we've been on a marathon in this demonstration. You know what I mean? We got 30 years of rifting to uncover. So I mean, we can do this for 30 years. You know what I mean? Andrea Jones, I do be talking to myself. I do. I don't know what be wrong with me. I be like sitting there like talking to myself, and then I look at them, man, let me see if I got this mic on. But that's from working too hard. I mean, sometimes I work too hard. Good goodness gracious. Family, the last few days, I've been working so much. You know what I mean? A lot I can't share. You know what I mean? I'm talking about on the ground. I mean, trying to get things done. Oh, my goodness. Good goodness gracious. I'm tired, man. But tonight we're gonna have a good conversation. But in the meantime, in between time, the reason why I wanted to bring that into remembrance is because one of the first brothers that came on the platform is here tonight. Young brother, strong brother, wise brother that's been leading the charge for quite some time. But we got familiar probably September or October, the end of September or in October, some kind of way. And yeah, and as they say where he from, we've been keeping it a bean. We're gonna ask him about that too. Keep it a bean. What that mean? Keep it a bean. Oh, we got Philly in the building. That's our brother. That's our brother. I mean, we twin cities. If you go to Philly and close your eyes, if you leave Baltimore, fall asleep, go to Philly, West Philly, North Philly, anywhere, and open your eyes, you think you're still in Baltimore. Everything look alike. I'm real talk. I mean, the only difference is Philly, they got a lot of Muslim brothers there, and Baltimore got a lot of, I don't know, a little bit of that thing. But it's a lot of Muslim brothers in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Anybody ever been to Philly? But don't let the beard fool you now. Don't let the dean fool you. Good goodness gracious. Anybody been to Philly? Good goodness. I try to tell you. Woo! Anyway, with that being said, family. With that being said, fam, we got to get busy tonight because I want to get right into it. Because it seems to me, can I send an Instagram link about some useful reparations? Hey, Destroy, you can actually come on the show. I don't think my brother would mind you coming on and adding some valuable information. You know what I mean? This ain't the troll show. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely welcome to come on, but you can send me the information, email talkabay@gmail.com, and while my brother getting busy, I'll share it, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, the crazy part about our people is this: they will get on here and say, that's right, I'm in Philly, Mount Kai. I mean, absolutely. New Frontier, email me, talkabay@gmail.com. I want to get my brother Khalif in the building, so he can put his feet on a coffee table a little bit, get comfortable. And then, as we build this conversation, I would love to have y'all come in to have some thoughts to throw to this conversation. And you know that's the standing topic is reparations movement dead? Is it dying? What is going on? It's a standing question. But I also want everybody to know, Malachi said, Malachi Bot, I can't see your whole name, but you say you in Philly, Israel. You say you in Philadelphia. Brother, you should slide around, or if you're unable to slide around, you should let people know that on Monday, this coming Monday, at 4901 Kingsley son. We gotta get the brother to say, I ain't from Philly. King Sessing. Y'all know I'm a butcher some words. Wherever it's at, it's 4901. My brother gonna tell you what it is in a minute. Let me try to say it again. King Sessing. Y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I do. I butcher some words, man. I ain't never been on King Sessing. I ain't never been there. My brother gonna take me there. I'm gonna try to make it up there. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it up. It's Monday. Because let me tell you something. And we're gonna talk about that in a minute. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about what Juneteenth got to do with reparations. You ever know they're always mixing reparation with Juneteenth? And in fact, why everybody doing Juneteenth on Saturday and Sunday? I ain't knocking nobody. I get it. I ain't knocking nobody. These just questions. I'm the one that got to ask the hard questions. And then I got to take the hits. You know what I mean? Somebody said that's over Southwest. Oh, Malachi said that's over Southwest Philly. That's right. But I got to want to take the hits to ask the hard questions. So family, let's get it. What's good, Black I Am? Oh, we about to turn up tonight because we need the FBAs. Where the FBAs at? Can we get some FBAs in the building? What happened to all that gas y'all had about reparations? Where they at? Remember they had all that gas last October? We're going to get our money in D.C. Goodness gracious. Tariq then sold them on the idea they was going D.C. to get some money and gave them a bounce check. They came back looking crazy, man. Good goodness gracious. You know what I mean? Yeah, they ran out of gas. Yeah, that's the light intro, guys. I want to welcome everybody to Bush World TV. I'm your host, Brother Khaleef. And tonight, we got Bro Khalif in the building. We also want to try to have New Frontier USA in the building. I'll be dropping the link in the chat, but New Frontier send me, and I speak about the problem over to who wants to first get it direct mind you and bind you back. Also, on the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black. And I like that type. I would love to have him on the show. He the now here we go again, acting like you a slave. We didn't bring the sheep to the white man on the face. And looking at women buying European hair. I want to know what myself, but do the men really care? Have now, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation takes a pill to my brother. Yeah, love no yachty. Tucci, Fucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess you say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. We want tangible. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. Super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You know it sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. FBA out your homie, but know that I know every load that rocks a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I see it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast mistakes. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. I love when the plan comes together. The plan that I'm talking about is when a young brother like Khalif can articulate where he's at along the way of the struggle. Man, most people my age cannot even articulate where they at along the way of the struggle. I'm 50. I'm a half a hundred. You feel me? I'm a half a hundred. You take somebody that's a half a hundred and you ask them, what's the plan? They'll start talking all sorts of weird stuff. And you be trying to figure out what question did you ask? Because they be all over the place. So with that being said, family, man, this is going to be a beautiful show. I hope y'all share this. Y'all like to share, man. Y'all like to share when I windmill Tariq Nasheed like he windmill on me. Tariq did a windmill. I windmill back. Get back. But anyway, welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I'm your host, Brother Tahaka Bey, and in the building with me, we got my brother Khalif. And if y'all don't know him, do y'all recognize Khalif? Do anybody recognize Khalif? I'm telling you, I was so impressed with this brother. When I first was introduced to this brother, he hit the link on the show, and I was seriously asking a question. He was there when all of this started. Anybody that see me making tons and tons of video about Tariq Nasheed, this brother was here when it all started. Many thought I was antagonizing. Many thought that I didn't support reparations, when in fact, Khalif know, and anybody with any good sense know, I support getting the bag. However, if I sold some stones back in the day for the bag, you know I want the bag that my peoples was that grind out for. I make confession. I sold a few stones back in the day. Few pebbles, you know what I mean? Just a few pebbles. I ain't go with the boulders, just a few pebbles, you know what I mean? I just sold a few pebbles. But now if I'm gonna throw rocks at the penitentiary, slinging burners and throwing pebbles, you know I want that don't even make sense. But they pegged me as one who was against reparations. But me and this brother here had a long, good conversation. And it even got kind of fired up, but it never got disrespectful. You know, and that's the thing. If we want to reach some type of solution, we can get fired up. We can be turned all the way up, but we should never cross the line of disrespect, because at the end of the day, we're brothers and sisters of the same struggle, and we're men and women, not chumps, punks, and them folks. That's for one. But with that being said, Brother Khalif, you back in the building, brother. What's been going on with you? What's been going on with you?
Peace and reparations. Is my background too loud?
No, you doing good, bro.
Background cool.
All right, you good. You good. It looked like that we're about to do a what you call them joints, a documentary. You got to just play back.
Yeah, just the plane now. Yeah.
Yeah, you good.
I tried to put the green screen on, but I couldn't get it this time.
Bro, let me tell you something. I mean, a little bit small talk. Man, I'm so raggedy with that green screen. I just said, man, forget it. I'm gonna just dress up my background, man. I don't like the green screen when it got the Newport smoke around you. You know, it'd be a little bit hazy. Hey, I still use ghetto analogy. It be look like they got Newport smoke around.
Right. Those certain type of green screens. Yeah, nah, that's a fact. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just grab me a flag. I should go grab my flag and pull it up. Like
you good? That. The shirt popping though. Yeah, the shirt popping, bro.
I'm cool with the
yeah,
shirt.
That's popping. But anyway, what you been up to, bro? It's been since you've been on the show. The last time you came on the show, I think it was probably back in November, but we've been in touch on and off ever since then. But what you been doing since the show? Because at first it was about going to DC, but you and your squad had already did some reparations, standing tall in the public, boots on the ground. And so you was like, look at this foolishness. And you ain't saying like that because you're gracious, but that's what you were saying, brother. But what you been doing since then?
So I went to So I've been just getting some reparation stuff situated. But I went out Cali. I went to go testify at the task force out in Cali, man. Just to like see it firsthand,
Right.
like to see like the process, to see like the information that they're putting out there. Because like we'll see a media clip, and when we see a media clip, we'll just see the highlight of it. So I went to digest the whole thing, and I got a good understanding of what was going on the task force. I also testified at the task force. I said I'm the first person in history to testify with a shiesty on, but I just got thrown out there. It was a little chilly in Oakland, so But long story short, I went out there.
Oh, you was there. Oh man, hold up, man. We don't go turn this about Tariq. You was out there. You went out there when Tariq was out there, was it?
Nah, I was out there.
Oh, good. Because
I missed that one that went viral. I missed the one that was a viral moment.
Yeah. But go ahead, brother. This ain't about him tonight.
So after that, I just been I was back in the school just doing some teaching, and I've really been planning my Juneteenth event. Shout out to you for promoting the event in the beginning. By the way, it's King Session. You have
King Session.
Yeah, you have my people cracking up. You said how you were saying it. But nah, it's 4901 King Session. That's what we're doing, our fourth annual Juneteenth festival. And it's a relationship between Juneteenth and reparations. I like to say it's a secret relationship, but it really shouldn't be secret. Like most people should be able to understand what's going on. So I think that's a part of my job is to explain to people what's going on with even the Juneteenth movement and the developments and how that even happened, and then how that is, to me, in my eyes, is like the reparations movement is really like, some could say is a continuation, some could say they have merged, some could say, but it's a lot out there, but to the naked eye, people just don't see it.
Let's start right there then. What is the relationship between Juneteenth and reparations? Let's start right there before we get into the reparations deep talk. What is, because we're coming up on Juneteenth. What I'm starting to see now, brother, I'm gonna keep it a buck. What I'm starting to see now, it seems like it's going into the same phase like every other celebration that Europeans sanction for us. When we sanction something for ourselves now, we so lackadaisy. But when the Europeans sanction that joint, it turned into a party. Seems like everybody having a party. Tariq having a party. That's right. They got a party out here. They got a party everywhere. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Brother, what is the true essence of Juneteenth and the relationship with reparations? How do that go?
Well, I would say when we look at Juneteenth, right? June 19th, 1865, General Granger and the soldiers, the colored troops that he had with him, many from like New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, many from that area. Really, the 7th Ward. If people are familiar with the 7th Ward, that's the area in which Octavius Cato grew up in. So a lot of those colored troops is from Philly, who went down there with General Granger. So it's a relationship between Philadelphia and Galveston through that. But to even take it a step further, after we received our quote unquote physical freedom, even though we know that we were still in some type of bondage via sharecropping and other things like that for them 100 years afterwards. But after we received our quote unquote physical freedom, it was time to get our 40 acres and a mule. And during that time frame, we all know the story on how it was a shampoo. It just didn't happen. The Reconstruction era, it was going good, then it was flawed. So it was a lot going on. I don't really want to get it all in detail in that, but when we look at it in modern times, Juneteenth became somewhat popular or normalized in about 2020. The reason why is because Queen Mother Opal Lee, she got on the IG live with P. Diddy. And if those who don't know who Queen Mother Opal Lee is, that's the grandmother of Juneteenth. She got on IG live with P. Diddy. Because the petition that we have put out, we put out a petition. Shout out to me and my people's my bad. I thought I went. I was like, wait, what happened?
No, you all right.
But yeah. But now, shout out to my organization, Millennium Juneteenth. What we helped put out the petition back in 2020. They started the petition. I always admit that they started the petition, but over 8 months they only had about 8,000 signatures. They ordered, social media, online, things like that. They didn't have it out there. We put the petition out there and pretty much, got the 1 million signatures. And Opal Lee got on the Instagram call with Diddy, and that's kind of like how everybody in the culture found out about Juneteenth. But then people was taking it serious after George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. All that stuff. We just gonna call it a spade a spade. So once people got normalized with it, you know, like you said, some people have parties. We try to have a festival where as though you could come through between the age of 5 and 65 and have a good time. You know, we're gonna have a DJ battle to celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and you know, we got music performers, we got all black owned vendors, so it's gonna be a vibe. But just the, you know, just that party part, because you gotta, like, the thing nowadays, like, you gotta have an educational piece, so we're gonna make sure that's available at all times, and you gotta get something to get them there nowadays. Like it's tough. I'm just keeping it a bean. It's tough. So you gotta have something that draw people to even want to come, and then they can get the information.
So is it safe to say Juneteenth is supposed to be a celebration, as opposed to be some, and pardon for anybody who's in the church, we call things churchy. You know what I mean? Like we all stiff, and you know what I mean. So it's supposed to be a celebration. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because after they got out of slavery, they were celebrating, had these parades, Juneteenth Jubilees. So like you had the first ones in Galveston, Houston, Philly had some of the first ones. So like some of these places, they had some of the first Juneteenth Jubilees. And if those who don't know what a Jubilee is a big celebration. So that's kind of, but we still have to remember, we got to make sure our people understand what we're being taught. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't just be having holidays and then we don't understand the essence of the holiday, because at the end of the day, I want my people to know what's going on at all times when we celebrate. People get drunk for St. Patty's Day and Cinco de Mayo Day. That's cool. That's not a holiday. You get drunk, but you ain't got to know the information. But I want you to know the information on Juneteenth, because people worked hard for it.
Exactly. So let me get into some of this, and we're going to go back to the Juneteenth conversation in a second. Bro, why does it seem, from the internet perspective, and I want everybody to know from the internet perspective, it seems that the reparations movement from the internet perspective is slowly losing steam. And what I mean by that, and that might be a good thing, it might be filtering out the crazy people, because they was all gassed up talking crazy. But it appears from the untrained eye that it fears to be losing steam. The time when you came on the show, it was at its height. It was right before election, and it was fired up. So it was 6 months, that time frame before you came on the show, 6 months prior, leading on up straight to the election, it was on fire. What happened now? It just doesn't seem, it seems the fire's going out. What up, Javon Muhammad? Assalamu alaikum.
I see what you're saying. Can I give you?
Yeah, come on, brother. The floor. This is your show tonight.
I got you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you two analyses, right? So the first analysis is going to be a political analysis. So the political analysis, if we break it down, what's happened is a lot of local things have happened. So you've seen a new mayor in LA, a new mayor in Chicago, a new mayor in Philly. These are big black towns, if you will. So you're now seeing this shift in DC also. So you're seeing this shift locally. And remember how politics, they used to say it started locally and then it goes to the federal level? Well, now it's reversed. It's reversed now because we're in more of, it may not appear that way, but we're in more of a dictatorship style of government now at this point, because the people who are in charge, we know that their agenda is against us. And we know their agenda is against them to everybody at this point. But needless to say, you know, without going too deep into that, needless to say, when we look at this reparations piece, what's happening now is the ones at the top, they've been seeing the screams and the cries and they've been seeing this stuff over the past 4 or 5 years now at this point. It's been making some type of leeway. And then not to mention, you've also, now we're going to get into the second analysis of it. You also have people who are now actually doing the work. Now, is everybody online doing work? Absolutely not. Some people are just cheerleaders with pom-poms, and you need that sometimes, right? But then also at the same time, you got people that's really doing things, lobbying, putting pressure on politicians, putting organizing on their grounds, and you know, doing what they're doing to get the information out there to help develop some of these task force, or either working with different individuals who are doing these task force. So I could say from two analysis, that's what's going on. But to conclude the whole thing, yes, it is dying down because the Democrats, they're trying to hijack it. So they're trying to make it more of a political issue rather than I need my people to be uplifted and feel better than what we are. You see what I'm saying? And we still focus on the political component, but politics without actually knowledge and info is like, oh, we just gonna get a holiday and we don't know what we celebrating. So we gonna get reparations and not understand the crux of it. And that's what is gonna happen if the Democrats can try to hijack. And I'm trying to basically, and not just the Democrats, let me not just say the Democrats, any politician without, if the person, if you're not right there in the room with the politician creating the legislation, like if you don't have the legislation already done, I wouldn't give it to a politician. I'm not letting the politician create my anything. I'm creating it, and then they got to stamp everything that I put. If not, we're gonna have a problem. I'll go with somebody else.
Come on, bro. That's why I rock with you, bro. That's how that supposed to work.
That's how that works.
Because what people don't understand, when people say don't vote, when people say politics and all of that, that's because you're not participating. You are supposed to push it to the limit, if you will, and you create what you need to be done, and they are supposed to be your voice. That's how this supposed to work. They are supposed to, as you just said, rubber stamp your concern. That's it. It ain't about no one person. You rubber stamp our concern. That's it. That's all. Now, if you choose to try to backdoor that, then we got to come up with something more intellectually slicker than what you coming up with. That's just what it is.
It is. But a lot of our people don't understand that, you know. So that's what comes down with disinformation, misinformation, and all types of nonsense that be going on. And you know, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, we just wanna you know, it's people doing work. I'm gonna say that, but the steam has gone down because a lot of things have been going local. So if you're not actually doing things local, because DC just put out a reparations task force bill today. Philly just put out one today. I know Chicago, they have one that they proposed already. You talking about Fulton County, that's Atlanta, they got one that they getting ready. So what they're doing is the Democrats, they're trying to ramp up on these black cities, right? And they're trying to hijack. See, they're trying to switch up from what's actually happening in Cali. What happened in Cali is pretty much right. Is it right to the 100% T? Maybe it's some things, you know, I probably would have switched around if I had to, you know, but it's right because it's 95 to 98% right.
Right.
What they're trying to do with the Democrats or even these other people that they're in cahoots with, third parties, Republicans, whoever, they're going to try to put a political stamping on it. And it's going to be utilized as a held up process because how they're going to do it is not going to be crafted in a way, how we say lineage-based, whether people agree or disagree. It's not going to be crafted in a way where it's going to reach strict scrutiny once it hits that constitutional floor, which many people really don't understand. But that's the reason why we're so firm on lineage-based, and that is the relationship between Juneteenth and reparations, because Juneteenth defines Freedom Day for a specific group of people who got up out of bondage, and those same people fought to get themselves out of slavery. Over 200,000 people fought in that war. So we always going to make that relationship connect because it's a secret relationship, but many haven't articulated it well enough.
Indeed. So at the end of the day, do you believe, do you believe that you're going to get those reparations? Do you believe that one day you're going to, however the process happened, open your bank account, get the letter or whatever? Do you see the conversation turning into something real, or do you see that you're just working towards the hope that we can materialize it into something real one day?
Right now, we have a you ever heard the expression a window of opportunity?
Right. Yes.
Right now, we have a backdoor window of opportunity, but when I say backdoor, it's a whole door. It's not a window, but it's just out back. See what I'm saying? So we got to go in. We got to grab our shiesties. We got to get our butters. We got to go in and we got to run in and run out. We got to get what we got to get, and we got to be quick. See, because we got a time frame. Because see, nowadays in pop culture and PC politically correct culture, if you're anti-black, they're gonna make that the worst thing you can be. However, people are using anti-black for symbolism. I'm trying to use people being anti-black for economics, lawsuits, city government, municipal governments, state governments, and federal governments, private sectors, even PWIs. All of these institutions, they all owe us a check. Dr. Anderson been put this work out there. A lot of people had his work out there, but we're just now at a situation where, though, yes, we are on the forefront of this reparations movement, but at the same time, this economic component, we have to nail that in our people's brain as we're teaching along the way, and that's what we're leading to. That's the goal. That's what we're leading to. But it's a lot going on. You know, a lot of people just don't. They can't catch on sometimes.
Well. So let me ask this. At the end of the day, right?
Right.
As you now, I know you real about this. But at the end of the day, with all the distraction, how do you work around the distraction? Because I believe I'm of the thought that some of the distractions that have been going on in the last 8 months, I mean, man, you get in some of them rooms. I've heard you in there turned all the way up.
I'm
But
retired now.
Yeah. I didn't heard so much back and forth. I was like, oh, goodness gracious, and I've considered those to be distractions off of the real goal, the planning part, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
These toxic conversations. But how do one address this toxic element so people that really want to put in work don't get lost in that toxic element? Because it's a toxic element. I looked at Lord Abba, right? I've known Lord Abba for quite some time, you know what I mean, through these conscious circles, right? And Lord Abba is the type of person where if his heart is in something, he's all the way in. And it's up to other people's opinions of what they have about the brother. But if he say this is what I'm about, he's all way in. And I watched him one day do a post, man. He was like, man, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. And then Lord Abba, man, he a banger. He'll bang with you to the end. But it's so toxic. So how do y'all get to say, how do you and like an Abba or whoever that's really in the fight, and maybe y'all got different ways to get there, but in the fight, how do y'all separate that toxic so people can know what to join in order to get this work done?
It's like you ever heard the term bench players talking like stutters? I hate it. Like you got some people that's on the bench that's talking, and they're not on the court performing. So when you on the court performing, like, all right, it's people that's, when I send them an article, they gonna read it. When I send them a link to a show I'm done, they gonna check it out. If I send them an event, they gonna be it. So what happens is you got a lot of people who don't actually have people who know that they doing any of the stuff that they're saying that they're doing online. You get what I'm saying? So it's really just a microcosm of like a mentally ill patient just spitting information, but they're not being able to flush it out. Kind of like the old conscious boy with the dreads and the beard, but he just be on the corner talking, but he ain't, you telling us to get rich, but you broke. Come on. Yeah. That's kind of like the concept. The only thing is social media, it can sway public opinion. So that's the only thing, but I will say a lot of people not on the court. So if you're not on the court playing, if you're not on the court, a lot of people not going to actually see the highlight room. They're not going to see the highlight tape. They're not going to see that, oh, that really happened. You really did that. Or you really organized it. They're not going to see none of that because you're not really doing it. So that's.
No, you good, bro. Now, if you could give us a brief step by step, I want to see the bag. I do.
Right.
If you could give us a brief, just a snapshot that since I've been hearing this reparations conversation, and I'm only coming from the internet perspective, I'm telling you, I know people on the ground that's really getting it in. I'm talking about this. And I like to attack this thing from this sensationalism propaganda that be distracting people. You know what I mean? So people like yourself won't be moving in vain trying to get this done over here, but still got to fight this distraction over here. So I want people to understand like it's a distraction, but from the internet perspective, especially Twitter is a beast. Oh my goodness. Twitter is a cesspool. But from the perspective of that, I see the same people having the same regurgitated conversation, but you never see them on the move. I've watched you take a break from social media and just be on the move. I watch you dip. You know what I mean? Like I might not even talk to you, but I'm looking for you. I'm like, where Khalif at? Where Khalif at? And I'm like, okay, he getting it in. Then you come back and say, I just did this, I did that. But these people, bro, they just have the same regurgitated conversation, and it doesn't seem like it's going nowhere. I look at Sister Yvette. I'm looking at some of her conversations at this point. Are we see? I can't do it. Some of the conversation are just regurgitated. It's not. It doesn't appear to be going anywhere. It's like the same thing I heard 2 years ago, last year. It's just articulated different. And what? So can you walk us to a step-by-step process that can get us to the bag if possible? And I don't have no problem with Sister Yvette. None whatsoever. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. If I hear the same conversation, it's like back in the day when in the 80s, you know, I'm an 80s baby. Back in the day when the D-boy bought a Maxima, you know what I'm saying? And when he bought the joint, it was all he did was put wax on it and some BBS rims on it. You know what I'm saying? That's all he did. But then 6 months later, he put some little metal trim on that joint. Like, man, that joint bad. Next thing you know, he put a little wing joint on the back. But it's the same car. It's the same car. He just add little stuff to it, and everybody's impressed. But me, I'm not impressed. I keep hearing the same talking points, just remixed.
So I would say, you know.
So what's the path? What we got to take? What we got to do?
I would say this, right? Depending on the location in which you're in, if you're in the local area or if you're focusing on state, because I think that's the best bet, like for people. Like federal is fine, like it's cool to, you know, bring it up because like, okay, like I'm Khalif the reparations. I'm going to fight for reparations anywhere I go. If anything going on, I'm going to speak on it, whatever the case may be. Cool. But when we're talking about at a local level, you're going to want to get with your local legislators and, you know, send them an email. Meet up with them at city council, run down on them, to be honest. That's really how I talk. Like, you run down on your council members, run down on your elected officials. I used to work for an elected official, right? I used to see the things that people used to request. And I'm like, oh shit, like this, my bad, I forgot this YouTube, but good. I'm like, yo, this what you want? Like, this all you requesting type thing? So I'm looking at it from the standpoint, me being on the outside, because I'm a private citizen in a democracy. That's what we are. We're private citizens in a democracy. So therefore, I can challenge the law or I can create a law because that's what they told us we can do. I went to school for it. That's what they told me. So I'm going to try it out. That's how I think. But long story short, you know, you can draft your own legislation. You can take from a bill already and build off of that. I have multiple pieces of legislation on black farming. I ain't gonna say all of it, but I have a bill on black farming. So I'm basically saying you can create your own bill. The only thing is sometimes when people, you know, give a bill, and I said it earlier, the bill might get, you know, docked up for scrutiny and different things like that. So it might not be the same thing that you want. So the whole goal is to stand your ground and make sure that it is what you want, as long as it has the political language and the legalese, if you will, as they call it. But you got your city level and then your state level. But at the same time, as you're trying to lobby these politicians, people have to know that you want reparations. So kind of sort of like what we're doing now, we're collecting a database of people who we already had in our data. But rather than have just the e-signature, we want an actual hard copy signature.
Right.
So that when we go down there and present, okay, we got the e-signature, we got your data. Okay, now we want to have an event. We want everybody to come down City Hall, 50 deep. See, we got to start doing stuff like that. So then when we go to apply pressure, they can actually see that it's real people who say, oh no, we do a constituency, if you will. A guy in my community, he's a really intelligent guy. He told me, he said, you want to build a constituency on a piece of legislation that you have or something that you're advocating for. Because what's going on right now in Philly, they're trying to build a new Sixers stadium. And 40% of the jobs and the concession jobs are going to go to black people. But Chinese and whites, they done teamed up. And they're saying, oh, nah, we don't want that. Because they're supposed to be taking some piece of Chinatown. But I say all that to say, they have a constituency who's backing that play. Black people don't have a constituency that's saying, we want that 40% or we want reparations, particularly in Philly, but all around the nation, a lot of people don't have these constituencies that are saying we want reparations. So that has to be built out completely while you're lobbying. People are lobbying. Yes, people are lobbying. I'm not going to act like people aren't lobbying, but this is my critique level. The critique of the people that are lobbying, you have to build a constituency, because when you have different types of problems with the legislators, with different things that's going on, with maybe even the task force. You have a constituency of people who are locked steady with the politician, possibly the people that you have on the task force, and then everything. Listen, slow motion better than no motion.
Have you ever thought about running for a political office?
Nah,
And maybe that'll give you a little bit more leverage.
Nah, not me. I'm the guy that has to get the elected officials in. Just be I have to be and what we have to be as a people is the new big business. Like, you know how they have big oil and electric cars and big business. COVID was a big business thing. Right. Black Americans, we have to now be big business with even voting. But when we're voting, we have to look at voting as an economic thing. If I'm voting, we need indoor farms in this Black community. That's what I'm voting for. We have to now vote for transformative policies, but we have to lobby to even get the transformative policies in play. And that's what I'm in the process of doing. And that's what I'm trying to inspire others to do, because we're not going to get anywhere with just online, or we're not just going to get anywhere with, people with the Democrats and what these politicians are going to put out there. That their politics is not what we want. We want transformative politics. We don't want the same old thing.
Man, do you think the politicians are going to respond to your grievances, or this is just the start? What I mean is, it's like our unity is all flawed up. You know what I'm saying? To even get the proper response sometime. Do you have confidence that ultimately that they will respond to the grievances?
They ain't got no choice. I mean, for the people who organize themselves, they're not gonna have a choice, because it go back to what I said in the beginning. We have you know how they say a window of opportunity. We have a back door of opportunity. We just have to go in and get it. Like, we just have to go in and lobby, organize, and do what we had to do, because we're at a point right now in this. We're entering a third reconstruction. We've been in this transformation. The country is changing, and as the country is changing, we have to change and build up ourselves as a people, because if we don't, we're going to be in a tough situation, like I say. But that's we on that wave. We have to build something, and that's where we at. Oh, the person said back door. So basically, you have a window of opportunity. I don't believe in a window of opportunity, because a window, you can just close a window. I don't believe in walking in the front door, because if I walk in the front door, they can see me. They can see everything that I got coming. I mean, every move is no chess move. But if I go in through the back door, now I have a back door of opportunity, which means they didn't even see me coming, and now we can get everything that we want. But we just have to make sure that we lobby and get our constituency on point. Those are the first two things. Like I said, we're in the process of doing that here in Philly, but everybody should definitely.
Do you believe that this system will ever collapse and it need to be rebuilt? Because I say that because I keep my mind open for all possibilities. When you look at the ways of the world, like sometimes as a people, like one thing I try to pride myself not to do is to get myself trapped into a box. I love Morris science. I love the wisdom. I love what it done for me, how it changed my life, shaped my life. But one thing I refuse to do is put myself in a box and I be walking around like a robot. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a big world out here. So I apply the science of what I know to be Morris science to the world universally, right? And when I look around the world universally, it just seems like everything is falling apart. It seems like my wife was at the grocery store, no food was on the shelf, and this is a major food chain grocery store. Everything seems to be like, it seems like we on a countdown. It's like it's 11 o'clock and 12 midnight is almost here with this system that we have been a part of. Do you ever consider that?
I think that's always, a possibility. I always look at something like that in the back of my mind. But then what happens is I go outside and I tune in. I'm like, damn, I forgot I'm in reality. And when I hit reality, I'll be like, dang, such and such, this happened to such and such. This was going on here. We got to do X, Y, and Z. And that's when I snap back into my zone, because now that I'm seeing so many things around that's not great, my thing is, I'm a healer. I'm trying to make the things around me better than what it is and the conditions. So, even, sometimes we're having that thought process. Yeah, that definitely crossed my mind. But while I'm here and while we still, in the flesh doing what we got to do, we're gonna have to keep fighting. Like even once people say like even once we get reparations, like yo, you're gonna be done. Nah, I'm not gonna be done. We still gonna keep fighting because just because we get reparations, that's not gonna be the end of black people facing situations that's gonna be oppressing them or putting us in situations whereas though we're not gonna be economically satisfied just from reparations. So we still gotta keep doing something afterwards.
Have you ever considered the intellectual warfare that the powers that be, the oppressor, the Europeans play in the manipulation that has led us to this perpetual bottom rank and file of society that we're up against? Do you consider those things also? I told you, I said, I'm gonna ask you some serious questions because you are a sharp brother. And I know these are not set up questions. I know that you are a deep thinker, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this.
So you said, do I think that the European?
No, what I'm saying is, have you considered the intellectual warfare that the European plays to keep us at the bottom ranking in society? You know, there's a lot of intellectual warfare that goes over a lot of people's head, you know. Even, you know, I was talking about the food on the shelf. Well, when the food is on the shelf, right, it's compromised. You know what I'm saying? When I take my son to school, I can't listen to Ricky Smiley in the morning because they're gonna say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I can't. It's certain things that I can't do because the Mickey is already in the drink. No matter where you look, if I look at a billboard, even in the hood, they got a little European family with love and happiness. You know what I'm saying? And then they got what's the girl, the big girl that act crazy. Sometimes they take the craziest sister in our.
Talking about the one light skin one, Lizzo.
Yeah. Yeah, Lizzo. They got Lizzo up on the billboard. So, I mean, it's like the intellectual warfare is crazy. So have you considered that could be a roadblock in the path towards reparations?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they're doing right now. So they have people arguing on minuscule things so that people aren't focused on these food deserts and the reparations piece. So like reparations is happening at this level, right? And then at the next level, it's all of this, the New World Order. You have we could go in and talk about you know, George Soros and all of the different type of things that's going on globally around the world, how, you know, we're being affected and all of this stuff. We could go in and talk about the COVID scandal and talk about what's the lab that Fauci had. We can go in and really break it down into detail. We can go and talk about the I-95 going there. But what happens is sometimes we get stuck in these, and it's really not even just the conscious black community. And I'm glad you got me on tonight because it's dirty YouTube. You know what dirty YouTube is?
I really don't know, but inform me. I think it's all dirty to some.
But this stuff, and I watch it too. You know what I'm saying? I watch. I'm gonna be honest. Keep it a bean, as we say. It's basically like it's street YouTube. It's like the, you know, the Hassan Campbell's, the Capone's, you got a lot of channels that's putting out street information, right? So in every local area, you have somebody that's the YouTube guy that's like he's the biggest YouTuber on the street flex.
Right.
So then all around, dirty YouTube is outshine conscious YouTube.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's happening is, you know, as we're trying to organize people online, or the people that are just getting information online because we're in this new world system, in this new world order, they're getting dirty YouTube, they're getting gender war fights, they're getting diaspora war fights, and then these devils at the top are just like, just looking like y'all using the tool that we gave y'all, but look how y'all using it. So that's why anytime I come, I'm like, now let me try. I'm gonna spit some knowledge. but then I'm gonna also give something so that people could go back thinking, because I know your audience probably never heard of dirty YouTube, like, or probably don't know these people I'm talking about. These people.
Yeah, I never heard of that term, but boy, you know, I know. I started from the bottom, building Moorish World TV. I give a shout out to the Moors that was on there in the beginning, and Kryptonite, Cryptonomics, Sean, and all those, and even your presence here and in the Moorish World TV Citizens Help This Grow, because it's hard to really compete with that toxic, what you call dirty YouTube. It's hard to compete, man. Yeah. Look at it right now. We got 214 people watching right now. If I said I was going to I got some new information exposing Tariq Nasheed. Man, we be up
Yeah.
in this joint. Man, we on all of the tea.
Nah, but it's changing a little bit, man. Like, whether y'all know it or not, like the conscious community is crossing over a little bit because what's happening is the dirty YouTube community or just the dirty, like just the that people are trying to be good in this bad society. So it's always more popular. It's always more popular to be negative, right? But people admire to be positive. Like I got a friend, he called me Positive Leaf. That's my man. Like this has been my man since we was in high school. Like we didn't go to high school together, but like that long, like 10, 12 years.
Right.
He called me Positive Leaf. But more people aspire to be positive, but they realize how difficult it may be. Even I do the same thing that everybody else do, but they just, sometimes people have this thing. So we're looking at it now whereas though yes, being quote unquote bad or a bad guy, whatever, is admired, but also at the same time being positive and doing good for your people. People are looking at the condition we in. You in Baltimore, I'm in Philly. People like, wait a minute, this is crazy what's going on there. Let's keep it a bean. You see, they're seeing evil. So when they see good, it's like, nah, we gotta, people are trying to transform. I think it's a process. We're in the process. We're in the beginning stages of that process. Because we face genocide. We face genocide from the dominant society. We're facing genocide right now amongst one another to keep it a being. But out of genocide is always light. And I think that's where we're going next. We're just working and building, man, just trying to change our mind today. That's it.
Man, let me ask everybody, if you are in Philly, family, if you are in Philly, man, come on, come through, chop it up with the bro. He's him and his team and the family in Philly, they are giving the June. Let me share this real quick. If I can find it, I'm trying.
That's funny.
They are there you go. They are giving the matter of fact, let me move us out the way.
Hey, Chuck, it always gotta get spicy when you try to come through on a positive tip. They always try to come through spicy. I seen somebody ask, is he still FBA?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a minute too. I want to just get this. Hold up one second. I wanted to get this. I wanted y'all to see the flyer. I'm tripping. I can't pull it up for some reason. But yeah, we're gonna get into that too, because at one point you said that you were rocking with the FBA, but you was like, Tariq is not the leader. We went through all that conversation too. So let's touch that for us. Hold up, here we go.
Sure.
Let's touch that for us.
I thought he was a black Tucker Carlson. Remember I said on this shot, I'm like, yo, this guy.
There we go. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry to interrupt you. So, family, if you in Philadelphia, you gonna go to 4901. What is it?
King Cesar.
That's right. And that's Monday, family. What time Monday?
Monday is going 3 to 8. It's in the top left corner, but yeah, 3 to 8.
3 to 8. So yeah, this is how it pulled out. And another thing I want to ask you.
We have a DJ battle, free food, free haircuts for the family. We gonna have a game truck for the kids. We gonna have the information on Juneteenth so that people know what Juneteenth is. We got that on deck. We got Juneteenth flags and all that.
Y'all got live performances that y'all gonna have rappers that you gonna be spitting some bars.
Nah, I ain't spitting no bars.
Do you got bars though? Everybody in Philly got bars.
I got bars, but I don't rap no more, man.
I just messing with you. I ain't gonna put you on the side. You know, back in the day when I was growing up, they be like, man, you got bars. Yeah, I used to. Spit something. Spit something.
Nah, look, when you come through to the event, I spit something. I spit live, but on the tube, on the net, they might mess around trying to have me go viral. You feel me?
Hey, look, I'm trying. It's like that. Hey, look, for real. When I was coming up, you better not tell nobody you can rap. Go ahead, spit something. Hey yo. There it is. Yeah. You be giving the whole performance. With that being said, about the FBA thing, bro, right. I don't see a lot of people. Bro, when you came on, bro, I can pull the video up, bro. We can go look down the chat, bro. Yeah. They was coming for me, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't see that no more. What what is going on with now the concept, and I said that back then, the concept I actually agree with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I actually agree with the concept principally, but I believe that it was created to grift. That's my problem.
Right.
That's my
you said that when you were saying that, then you were saying that. I remember, like, when we had that dialogue, you were saying, like, I think he's a grifter. I just said, I think he's an entertainer. I never looked at the guy as an activist, but apparently some people did.
Right. So where are you? I do remember asking you, do you wave the FBA flag? And you said, I wave the Juneteenth flag. I remember you saying that. So where do you stand today with FBA as a lineage? I'm sorry, bro. People that keep saying it's a lineage and not an identifying marker is insane to me, because it's a lineage if that's what you define it as, but it still identifies. Right. It's an identifying marker, just like a nationality identified people, just like a race identified people. It's identifying a group of people, so it's consistent with identity, like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But they went, oh, it's a lineage. It's not that. It's not a lineage. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, I want to just say this, and I'm going to let you flow. Another thing I have a problem with is when they say that it's a lineage and it's not an organization, when in fact, if you're going to use a lineage for political power, or you're going to use it for reparations, then you're going to have to organize those within that lineage. But nobody wants to touch that. So you, taking it back to you, how do you feel today about FBA organizing lineage and everything as it pertains to you and your journey?
Yeah, I would say, it's some people, it's people out there, who use the term FBA who are doing things. I'm not sure if they're connected with Tariq personally. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I will say, it's some people who use the term FBA as an identifier. Do I use it as an identifier? Nah, because I think I told you, like, I had a disagreement with something that was going on. I was like, oh, nah, this isn't, I'm just not on that. So long story short, when you just look at, it was, now from the information, it is an organization from the information, but there's a lot of people, they use it as a lineage, which is nothing. That's what it is. Same thing with ADOS. Like, even though they're an organization, people use that as a lineage. But FBA, they think is that they say that they're a lineage. So it's what it is. But I would just say, even any of these terminologies, though, because you got so many different terms that people use nowadays, it's just like, okay, you can call yourself a cat at this point. I don't even care. As long as you say that you're for
but the cat's got to organize too, though.
No, as long as you organizing, but as long as you saying that you for lineage-based reparations and that you're for the advancement of Black Americans and how, we want to progress and we want to get reparations, you're cool in my book. Some people have differences on this and on that. I really try not to ideology gangbang. I just focus on what's going on in my local area. Because a lot of this stuff people just not up on. Like, people will see this stuff and be like, what is this? So I just being honest, like, people have this internet information, which is accurate, some of it, and they're taking it to people who've never seen it. And it's like, this is not cut. I don't know what this is, or is a process or a problem with trying to teach it, because a lot of people, like you said in the beginning, people can't articulate what they're saying. So if you can't articulate what you're saying on Clubhouse or Twitter or even on YouTube, how you going to articulate it to a young boy that don't know what the hell you talking about, or to a politician that's like, what are you talking? Like, I don't know what you're speaking on. You got to break it down to me. You can't. So you got to be able to have good information, but be able to, make it make sense so that everybody can hear it. So that's, yeah.
Do you ever get? I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Do you ever get frustrated and be like, man, I'm really exhausting a lot of energy in this reparation? Because in our world, there's a lot of things going on. And I know you got more things going on than fighting for reparation. I'm sure. Right. I'm sure you got plenty of things going on. But when you, but from the eyes of the lens of the camera of social media, it would appear that that many people that is on the reparations journey, that they are so zoned in on that, and that they could possibly say, hold up, what am I doing? I'll give you an example. I name drop. I call it like it is. I name drop. I look at people like Sonetta, you know what I'm saying? Former crackhead, goes to nah, I'm for real. Nah, he goes to able to bootleg people DVDs, and he's able to make a living for himself. He's able to get with what's his name, Brother Polite, and they able to grift on a whole nother level. But when he was the crackhead guy and he got conscious, you know, he was really doing some good things because he was coming out of the mud. You know, he got his teeth is fixed, he got everything going for him, and you know, he was sincere, I would say, you know. But at some point it appears that he got burnt out, and he's like, hold up, I gotta go get this bag because I'm getting older, my children are getting older, and then the grift came. And I don't see that in you, and I don't see that in most people, but that's just an example that I feel as though that people get burnt out, you know what I mean? Especially crackheads like that turn over and get some changes going. And now you're young. You're 26 years old, you're very intelligent, and you're fighting for stubborn people. That's called a spade a spade. You're fighting for stubborn people. Do you ever feel that feeling like, man, I'm really putting a lot of energy into this? Man, what else could I be doing? Or, you know, could I minimize this and maximize myself over here, or slim down? Do you ever get those thoughts? And I ask you that because a sister in our organization, the More Science Temple of America, Sister T. Moody L, she asked me, do I ever get burnt out? Because I do meetings in the temple, you know what I mean, online, I'm here, online, I work, and I mean, it's just it's so much going on. So basically that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you ever get like that?
I mean, I ain't gonna say burned out, because I'll say, you know, I knew what I signed up for. Like I told somebody before, like if you doing this work, if you doing conscious, if you trying to be conscious, if you don't work for the community upliftment, it's equivalent to, you know, being in the streets. Like you already know what life you signing up for. And if you fail to come short, or if you just lacking, basically, like if you don't realize what you're doing, it's like, nah, like we signed up for this. Like you have a responsibility. Like people gonna critique me. That's what I signed up for. People gonna love me. That's what I signed up for. People ain't gonna like the idea. It's cool. Everybody ain't gonna like it. People don't like the Juneteenth flag. We still fly it. It's still everywhere. So, you know, it's one of those types of things where it's though, if I wasn't performing, they wouldn't have nothing to say. So if I'm performing, they got something to say. I'm performing like George Foreman. So the whole thing is, you know, that's one way to look at it. But don't get me wrong, I go on my vacations. I take my 2-3 week vacation. You know, I get my tan. I'm a light skinned boy, so I like to get my tan. It get cold in Philly, so I like to get a tan sometimes. I go on vacation trips, different things like that. I still do. I'm 26. I still do normal stuff. I still go out and go to the club. I still do that too. Still do.
What exactly is your regimented day as it relates to reparations? Because you call yourself Khalif the Reparationist. What is your regimented day? You know what I'm saying? What is a day in the life of Khalif going for reparations? Because at 26, I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to lay somebody down for some squares.
Nah, for sure.
Chop them up. Nah, I'm just playing. That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
I'm crying. Nah, for sure. You gotta get to the bag. But the really. So like,
I'm impressed, bro. I'm impressed at 26 that you talk like this. So anybody that's coming for you, I'm looking at you like you're crazy. Like this brother is really a thoughtful brother. You don't have to agree with. That's the thing. People think we got to agree with one another. You don't have to agree with him, but he's very, very thoughtful in his answers. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's even if no one agrees with you, bro, you think out your answers. You just don't just talk. So I'm very impressed with that. So with that being said, what you was ready to say?
No, I was just gonna say on a daily basis. Now I was teaching this year, so I was at the school from 8 to 3. I was telling people on staff.
See, they come for Cryptodynamics say he coming for you because you was supporting Tariq.
I thought, listen, man, I never was supporting him as an activist or a leader like those other folks. I was supporting him saying basically,
my God,
media. I thought he was like Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
That was my perception. I mean, he called himself a race baiter. That's what Tucker Carlson is. But
Yeah.
needless to say, just on a regular basis though, man, I just I'm in grad school. I do that
Oh, you
online.
still in school? All
Yeah,
right.
I'm in grad school. I do that online. I'm trying to get this master's so I can, teach at universities. But during the day, I teach at a high school. Like I work at a high school. I teach.
Yeah. What you teach?
History. I'm like a building sub. So I come and I teach history. Sometimes I do electives, but mainly
That's
history.
what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up.
And
Yeah, I'm impressed.
to be honest, like I work with my study group. So I got my study group that we do a lot of our reparation stuff around. And that's pretty much that's what I've been doing the past. Let me see, it's January, December. We talk November, right? Probably since like December. I done went a couple places, did a couple things in regards to reparations, built with a couple people that's fighting for reparations in person. I'm an in person boy. I'm pulling up, but
no, you good.
I was
Go ahead, bro. Keep it going.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say. So I built with a couple different people that's working on reparations in different states, multiple states around the country. Just because if I'm like I said, I like to go on vacations. If I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna have fun, but I'm gonna handle some business. Yo, I'm in your city. Let's link. Let's do it. Whatever. So doing that, and my big thing I've been focusing on really, and I got some announcements after Juneteenth, but it's been Juneteenth. Like Juneteenth, just getting this stuff out there, man, and really just learning more as we're preparing for Juneteenth. Like, so from January till now, I've been in the lab just studying because I already know my 10,000 hours. The time is ticking. 10,000 hours of perfection. My time is ticking. So I'm getting closer to 10,000. While people was getting further from 10,000, I'm getting closer. And that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, our Juneteenth event, that's the big thing that I've been focused on the past like 4 or 5 months. Just making sure everything right, man, for this. Get the community out and have a good time. 5 to 65, we want you to have a good time.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Fab, if you was in Philadelphia, come on, you got to pull up. You got to come through. One other thing that I want to say, brother, another thing we had a conversation was about the Freedmen.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about the Freedmen's Bureau now? Because I got a mind like an elephant, man. I rarely write stuff down unless I really need to. You know what I'm saying? But I remember our conversation because as of now, I was impressed that you at that age, because I always think about myself when I was 26, and I look at 26-year-old brothers in the city. I be in the trenches, you know what I mean? When I mean in the trenches, I don't hang on the corners and all of that, but my office is in those type of areas where the average 26-year-old is still trying to figure it out,
You know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, I'm impressed. So if somebody say, how do I call in? You can hit this link right here. One of the things I wanted to, that's not the link. One of the things that I wanted to ask you was, what do you feel about the Freedmens today?
Right. So I do have a piece of legislation to on some Freedmen enactments, Freedmen offices. I ain't really gonna go into too much detail online, but I do have some stuff that we're working on at the state level here in Pennsylvania in regards to Freedmen enactments, things around HBCUs because we have Lincoln and Cheney here, and a couple other pieces. But I'm always going to say we need a Freedmen Bureau. We need to revive that because I'm 10 toes down on Reconstruction. We gotta go back. We gotta go back and take some of those things that work in that short time frame and utilize while we got this opportunity. People don't realize we got opportunity because people aren't really that politically versed. But if you put the right plays together, we got a chance. We got a better than a chance. Matter of fact, we got an opportunity.
So you think? So you are you of the idea that the Freedmen's Bureau is the place that will be the institution that will distribute reparation? Because that's the concept of the Freedmen Bureau.
I would say that office is going to be utilized as a prologue to reparations. So what I'm saying is, as people are going there to just register in general, they're going to have their information already. So it's kind of like if you go to H&R Block and you're dealing with your taxes and they're automatically going to connect you with the IRS. The IRS is a privatized, they're part of the government, but they get a government contract. Freedmen Bureau is reenacting what they had once before that was a part of government. So, like, for example, you have the Office of Migrant Affairs and Immigrant Affairs. That's a part of the government. And they're getting those funds directly dispersed. And those funds are being, dispersed, have various different arenas. We don't really got to get into that. But my point is saying with this office, yes, it can, disperse reparations, but it's other things that the office is really primarily doing. Just like how it did before. That Freedman office back in the day opened over 30 hospitals, had something to do with over 40 universities being built, had something to do with local schools being built. So all types of stuff. So it's more than just, the direct payment component via the Freedmen Bureau, but that is a way in which people are going to be able to prove who they are. They have to go there, and then you'll be in that system, which you already are in the system once you got a social security number. So all those people that's out there like, oh, I don't want to be in the system. Nigga, you already in the system. They already got your social security number. They already know who your mom is, they know who your pop is, they know who your grandma is. Because I can find it. It's too easy.
Right. It seemed like it's gonna be a tough road, because even when you're looking at the Freedmen Bureau, it seemed like people talk about the Freedmen Bureau in concept and theory and from a historical perspective, but I don't see anybody putting no. I don't see it.
We got it. This is a blank sheet, but we got it. I ain't gonna put it out there because this online is stalkers and weirdos and crazy people. But for sure we got it. And we've been going at the state assembly in PA in the black, like I said, we've been going at the Black Caucus, and I'm probably sending this to them in an email to let them know that I'm telling people about this. We've been going at them for 100 days. 100 days about creating this office. You know what they told us, bro? They said, we have offices that do this already. I said, okay, show me. They never showed me. They never showed me. So what we did? We said, okay, we're gonna put that on pause till after Juneteenth. Because I got so we're gonna put it on pause till after Juneteenth. But after Juneteenth, what we're gonna do is a part of our campaign, we're gonna let people know who these black people are from Black Caucus who are telling us these different things. So now we're gonna create a campaign that's gonna say, yo, we're not effing with you, and you're not for black people. Because black people at the local level, you know this, bro. The Democratic politicians that's in these areas, black people look at them like God sometimes, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, you be like, yo, this nigga just gave out some turkeys. What you mean? But they look at these people like that. So we gotta, they don't want you to get economic justice. They getting every economic justice for everybody. Look what they did. Look what they did for these people. Look what they did for them. People don't know that yet. So as we have our campaign, we still, reparations. Philly just voted on the reparations task force. They voted on the next week. They just introduced it today. We going to get a Freedmen Bureau. We going to build with them HBCUs in PA. But we're going to make sure that the black politicians are being put on notice. Yo, you can't be living in black communities and not creating policies for black people if you're creating policies for immigrants, migrants, Jewish people, all types of people but your own people. And you go to the same store as me? Nah. I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable if you're going to the same stores.
Well, brother, I opened the chat up. I got my big bro up in here, the veteran of the game, Naeem, in the building, Lord Abba. I done talked about.
What's good though? I'm just trying to figure out when you gonna have the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Up on the channel. That's all I'm waiting for. When am I gonna get the invite?
Hey, Lord Abba, stop playing. You
What's up, Tahaka? What up?
You are a building block. No matter how much if we bump heads, you are a building block of Morris Road TV. You was here, you was a day one. Stop playing, and good and well you welcome anytime you ready.
That's right.
You and Ali Bey. But with that being said, I'm glad that you came in.
That's
bro.
right. That's right.
I'm glad that you came in because earlier I mentioned, I don't know if you was listening, but I said, how do you continue to move forward? Because I watched Lord Abba. I said Lord Abba is a fighter. Been fighting for years, and when he's about something, he always in. But I watched the post one time where Lord Abba said, "You know what, man, I'm tired of this." You know what I'm saying? But then you got back into the fight, and so that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Recharging yourself and getting busy. But what I want to ask you is, brother, what is the state of the Freedmen bureaus now? Because I consider, this is just my opinion, don't nobody get mad with me, I consider that you, Ali Bey, and the brothers over there is an authority on, and we was going to debate on the topic, but I'm like this, brother Khalif, and everybody who's listening. I can disagree with you, but still acknowledge that you an authority on something. You know what I'm saying? I really can. I disagreed with Lord Abba about some more science topics, but I've always said that he is one of the top researchers when it comes to
you did more than disagree there, Tahaka.
Well,
you did more than disagree there.
I'm Tahaka, brother. But we're gonna leave that alone.
I know that.
But
I know that.
Said, though, brother. Let's knock it off course. What is the state of the Freedmen Bureau today as it relates to the work that you've been putting in? And not you,
well,
you and your team.
Deeper.
Let me say you and your team. Not you, just you and your team.
It's deeper. No, definitely. It's deeper than just the free. I mean, you know, I'm me. I'm still me. Yeah. That's what's up with me. I'm still me. The Freedmen's Bureau is one aspect of what it is that we're trying to push. And I just did a long space. And once I got on here and I seen that you was talking about this topic. And, you know, I wanted to jump on because I think that it's time for us to have that conversation, because we have, like, the space that we did today was about victories that have happened. In Boston, for instance, they are putting together a reparations commission for not just the city of Boston, but the state of Massachusetts. And they got that Freedman language in that bill. You see what I'm saying? So there's things that happening right now all across the country of BTP. We got our fingerprints all over everything that's moving in this thing. So I just wanted to jump on though and say, let's set up a day and a team. We're gonna come on and we're gonna lay it all out. And
I'm definitely looking forward to it, because I think a lot of people get lost. And this is why I like have Khalif on. I like have the intellectuals on, because, you know, I can give a show all day long. Like I said, if I was talking an hour about exposing Tariq Nasheed, oh my goodness, it'd be bombs over Baghdad up here. But now we're talking about the progress and the lack thereof that it seems on the internet about something that I believe that we all should be afforded, and that's reparations. It's the interest is not what the drama gets, as he talks about dirty YouTube. So, brother, all you got to do is let me know when you're ready. Hook our schedule up. I think it's going to be a bomb interaction.
Oh yeah,
as it relates to, because I got some good questions that I want to ask, and I want to. But I look for.
But look, and you could. Well, I want to make a request. I want you to, when we come on, I want you to bring your homie on Pan-African Strikes Back. I would love to engage with him in a one-on-one conversation. Just bring your homie on. Let's spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's spice that thing up. So
if I would do that, I would like you and Pan-African Strikes Back to have a conversation, as opposed to the whole team. But because
that's cool. That's cool.
And
that's
this
cool.
This is why I've listened to Be the Power. If y'all haven't listened to Be the Power platform on YouTube, go check it out. Type it in; it's going to come right up. I listen to y'all. Y'all have more of a balanced approach to try to give people understanding about the Freedmen and all the principles that ride with it. Now, with Pan-African Strikes Back, y'all might be having one of them type of conversations that could.
Oh, it's going to be a different conversation. That's
my point. That's my point.
A fact.
So I would love to host that if he's with it. So I'll
reach out to the brother. See if he'll come on and have a good conversation. You know, we could keep it respectable. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the stage in life where I could keep it respectable. I could keep it not respectable. It all depends what type of. And I ain't on that MSTA stuff no more. You don't get the Grand Sheik Wayel no more. You get Lord Abba Naheem with the sword and the hammers and the axes and stuff nowadays. So yeah, but if he's willing to have a good, conversation, then sure, I'm with that, bro. Let's set that up. I'm gonna hit you up. I'll text you, man. We got each other, Mav. I'll text you
absolutely
sometime tomorrow, and we we set it up, man. You know, the team and I, of course, we want to come on. It's something that we talked about. It just never happened. But
I think the time is right now, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really right. I think the time is really right because, as I said, 6 months ago or 8 months ago, it was a bunch of toxic information out there. It was a bunch of weeds that we had to weave through to try to find out who was who. And all I did was ask the question, "What is this FBA thing?" And everything went crazy. But with that being said, it's kind of calm a little bit now, and I think people can hear a little bit better.
How the Christians say, you're doing the Lord's work, brother. You're doing the Lord's work. Hallelujah.
Praise his name.
Praise his name. You're doing the Lord's work.
Most definitely.
Doing the Lord. You know, and I wanted to jump on here too, you know, so I could be seen, you know, because they was like, yeah, Lord Abbott, Tahaka. I was like, I don't even rock with Tahaka Day like that. You know, this was like months ago. And then everything started getting crazy. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna jump on Tahaka Bay stuff just to jump on, you know. Maybe we could start prodding some things. Maybe people start stepping out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I want them to step out a little bit more. So it is what it is.
Well, you know, Lord Albert, some people want, like, if me and you have a beef or a conflict, some people want that to go on indefinitely. But you know, we got bigger fish to let go. You know what I'm saying? We got bigger fish to let go. Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, we could disagree on some things, but we got bigger fish to let go. If those that really don't want to see us to get progress, they want to see that bumping heads over time. I think we can meet some middle ground, even when we're talking about reparations from these different factions, ADOS and but if one a fraud, let me just say, if one a fraud, they just a fraud. You can forget about it.
That's a fact. A fraud is a fraud.
Yeah, you just
that's a fact.
So let me just stop right there. But Albert, hit me up. Let me know. Let's get it.
I got you, bro. I got you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love. I appreciate you, fam. That was a good thing to see, Lord. I will come in the building. Yeah, listen. I just have to laugh now because years ago, man, Lord Albert would have triggered me, and we've been up here debating about something.
Yeah, I seen y'all YouTube bouts.
Yeah, and I said, Lord Albert, he's about that fight. He's when he believes in something and he's in it wholeheartedly, he's ready to rumble any and everybody, and you can't do nothing but respect that. So why go halfway? Why go halfway with a thing? But back to my brother. Thank you for sharing your time and the stage with the brother. So brother, what do you have an organization that you work with, or are you just rallying people together for a common cause?
So I do a lot of my Juneteenth stuff through my Millennial Juneteenth organization. So like if we done like give backs, different programs, things like that, I do it through my Millennial Juneteenth organization. Primarily with the past like 6 to 8 months, we just been focusing on Juneteenth. But then I have like study groups that I work with in regards to the reparations. So I have different people, whether it be civilians who have organizations, people who are in, because you know in our community, people don't online, they're not probably going to get it, but the biggest thing that people are talking about is the violence. So there's a lot of anti-violence organizations that I tap in with, that I deal with, and I really get them to kind of understand what's going on the economic point. Some of them understand it, but I gotta translate it so that they can understand how this can actually be the cure to the violence. Right. So my process is a little different than other people's process, because how I'm doing it is organizations that's around, they're just not doing reparations work, but they don't work for Black people. Right. I'm just helping them with them to say, hey, look, this is what we got going on. I have a team of people who have their own organization, whether it be violence, whether it be whatever. They got their own, but we have a collective team of cohesive minds. Our Philly Reparations, as I just like to call them. Our people, we need to go to a couple of events. We just go like 2D, 3D.
And has anybody ever tried to tap some resources? It's a lot of talent, a lot of rappers, a lot of successful people coming out of Philly. Have y'all ever tried to tap some of the resources that come out of there, or is it to the point where, as though, you know, hey, this is our problem, and maybe they're not seeing it as their problem?
Nah, like people, like, you know, one of my mentors, rather, he got a $100,000 grant from Gillian Wilder when they was giving out the money. Gillian Wilder, they was giving out money to community organizations. So like Like, it's people around, but for me, I know it's not gonna get where it need to be if I'm quiet. If I'm quiet, it's not gonna get. I'm one of those type of people. So
right.
That's why I just advocate and I build with people who I know. You know, I might know 300 people. They might know 3,000 people, or I might know 3,000 people, but they might got $300,000. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what makes sense. But how I'm looking at it, whatever makes sense the most for Black people, that's what I'm on. But I'm building with people through my method. So if you don't oblige by what I'm saying, we can't do no work. If you're not meeting these guidelines, that we can't do no work.
Right. See, that's man. Look, I'm about to come out to the forefront about some of the things that I'm planning to do. Here, I'm not about the more, you know what I mean? I said we got a lot about the Moors in the Moor Science Temple America. They always about to do something. You know what I mean? I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. But I do have some contingency plans because I've always been trying to put things down. I've always been putting things down to try to make our situation better within the community that I live in. And so I got some big plans coming up, and I hope that we'll be able to. I talked to you about something off camera earlier. I hope that we'll be able to work together in order to bring this to a whole new era. But I mean, a whole new era is a whole new constituent, because it appears to me that and this is the philosophy that I get on Moorish too. Like I said, I look at it from a universal perspective. Man, I can't keep arguing with these old people that love to swing tassels around their head. Look good with some dress up nice clothes from 1844. You know what I mean? Now we need to get these things on the ground. So I'm looking forward to that. What is outside after this event that you're having? The Juneteenth celebration coming on Monday. I want to ask you about that too. I got two good questions before we go.
Yes.
After that, would you give us a peek into something that's coming up after that could affect change that you involved in? Anything?
I would say the piece that we're lobbying at the state level. So some of these policies in regards to agriculture and the development of that office at the state level, that's what you'll see some noise on that. And really, you'll probably see me going around a lot more, really just giving people the information. Like, I try not to go in front of a lot of people, but now, since we're building our constituency out in Philly, we have a location that we can now, do free events to have people come out, get the information, sign our petition. We got to get some food. We got to get some food, have them come out. You can't have folks come through without no free food. You know what I'm saying? Pizza, wings, soul food, cater, whatever we got to do, but we just get them out and they can get the information.
Right.
Once they get the information, they sign a petition, and we're going on a 120-day plan, a 90 to 120-day plan. Because sometimes you got to do it like this. But we're going on that plan and basically say our goal is to get 5,000 signatures. If we get 5,000 hard signatures, like not online, because people be making accounts and 5,000 hard signatures and 5,000 online, we're gonna have an event. But the event is gonna be like a political rally. I'm not gonna give up the location yet.
Right.
We're gonna have an event, and at that event, we'll have everybody's data. But these are the people who we know that are serious. They came to our event. We met them on the street. They wanted to build with us some type of way. So we're building out our constituency. So then our next steps is we have people who back in our play. Because if nobody backing your play, you're just screaming to nobody at this point. Because they're not scared of you. And that's so we're building our constituency. We're in that phase because we know that 2024 is coming up. It's a presidential year, it's a U.S. Senate year. It's going to be all types of things, propaganda, monies, all types of stuff that's being thrown out there. And we need to be ahead of that, so we have to be better organized. We're partially organized in Philly. Don't get it wrong. Most of our black cities, they're partially organized. The only thing is, a lot of us conscious people are organized out because we're not in certain little loops, whereas though we can say, no, let me just give you my information and we can work. Sometimes people, if once somebody don't agree with their information, I don't even want to work with them. Or if that person, if they don't see eye to eye, I don't want to work with them. People hear my information and say, I want to work with you based off of your information.
Right.
And then we build what we build down.
I wanted to ask you before we get out of here, then I'll let you close us out. I wanted to ask you, Do you ever consider that the energy that you put in and that many others put in this reparations movement, that this same energy could be put towards building your own space or our own space? When we look at we talk about what the immigrants are getting and what all of these other groups outside of our groups, and they call them tethers and all of this crazy stuff. But we have to be honest. These people that people want to try to act as if they just get handouts actually take whatever they get and they work with it. They actually go into these communities and actually put a hammer to a nail. They really do. They really do. The Mexicans actually stand out in front of, what is that?
Home Depot.
Home Depot. They actually really put a hammer to a nail. They actually really put the lawnmower to the grass. You see what I'm saying? They really do. Our Jamaicans brothers, they really will cut a barrel in half and sell you jerk chicken on the street. Do you understand what I'm saying? And all other groups will come and begin to build their economic base. And it appears that we could get stuck into that rut of saying, give me what you owe me. And then many numbers of us will not be building the economic base from the mud. You understand what I'm saying? Is there a way that we can merge the two? Because if they decide that they don't want to let go of that bag, we're going to still have no building being done and have nothing. So do we continue to chase this bag that they owe us, rightfully owe us? Nothing wrong with that. But are we able to blend it with some hammer to the nail and some wood to the floor and some, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if we don't, you know what I'm saying? If we don't, at the end of the day, that bag could become the proverbial carrot, and we end up with nothing because we haven't built anything.
No, absolutely. I would say this, man. You know, a lot of our people are far gone. I'm just keeping it a being. Like, I see what I see. Like, I'm not lying to myself. People online like to lie. I'm not. So since a lot of our people are far gone, and the ones who are able to do this work, a lot of them are trapped in the parallel metaverse because they actually don't know how to go out and get what it is that we need as a people. So what happens is, and how I look at it, if we're continuously trying to change minds in that process, but also at the same time as we're building these political moves that we're doing, so we have to change the minds of our people and rebuild and redevelop the minds of our people. But we also have to do politics. If we ain't doing politics, we tripping. But at the same time, we can't do politics if the minds of our people are not built, because we're not going to have a constituency, the army, the military. When I say the army and the military,
and that's another thing I was going to say. You know, even if, like, we don't even plan to build our own Boy Scouts, more or less, a defense system in place. Our women, for all intents and purposes, look at the gun violence, and I'm saying the women that's raising the boys, and this is not all of them, but many of them, and I hear them in the stores. They look at me like I'm crazy in Walmart when I tell my son, "No, you only gonna get 2 of those Nerf guns." They be like, "What? He's giving them guns? You're not." And I hear them say, "You don't need no guns." You know what I'm saying? And like, as opposed to changing the mentality of gun safety or being a responsible gun owner, even teaching little children that children is shunned upon in our community. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the gun violence that we hear about. But who is going to hold the mantle when it comes to training our young boys and girls for self-defense and defending that which we say we fighting for?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why
it's so much missing in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, your lane is your lane, though. Right. Let's be clear. These are thoughts for those who are listening in. Your lane is your lane, you know, but we still need that defense lane. Right. We still need other lanes. And I don't see these lanes happening.
I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. Like, and this is me keeping it a beam. Me and you, we would be on that type time. that's a slim number compared to like the whole of us. Like the rest of us is like either we've been drinking the Kool-Aid of the devil so long, whereas though we've become the devil, or some of our people, we're so content with the devil being in our presence. So we don't even want to try to change for the better. But that's why I always say, like, people like, me, you, other people out there, we got a light, and our light is gonna, our light is stronger than that darkness that is out there. So, as long as we keep putting that light, putting that pressure on, we'll be cool. But that's the work, getting our people to really understand who we are and, being the best versions of ourselves, loving ourselves. That's one element. But the other element, those same people, they got to be doing some politics with you. Or at the same time, you could just have, like, in some of these places where the task force and other politics is happening, there's only a few people. Like, it ain't 20, 30 people. It's a few people. And it's happening just like the COVID money happened, just like all of these other things. It's happening. But a lot of our people don't know, because what happens with politics in the Black community, we only see it once the plate full. We don't see it when it's been built up. They did a soda tax in my city, and they did a plastic bag ban in my city. Nobody noticed until they went to the store and they was getting brown bags. They're like, what the hell? Or they was buying sodas that was used to be $1.50 and they was $2.50. They didn't realize it because it already had happened. And unfortunately, bro, and to the audience, that's what happens in local politics with Black people. They don't know what be going on in the mass numbers, so it just happens. Even the people that's the churchgoers that vote, they just vote because that person probably gave them a turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wanted to add this because I see these comments going up, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We're so out of the loop. But Miss Sandra Lee said, I didn't buy my children any guns, but we talked about gun violence. And that's one of the things that we have to reverse, with all due respect to my sister. Gun violence the gun is not violent, it's the people. So you change the mindset of the people, and then you change the whole situation. But we're going to have to train our young people to be able to defend ourselves, you see, because while we won't buy our children guns to be responsible, and I mean toy guns, to be responsible. Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, right, one of the main sellers for Christmas and holidays, and most importantly Christmas, was army men. Anybody remember the little green army men? What that was conditioning. It was conditioning to get children to be ready to want to be a soldier one day. You know what I'm saying? And all the toys back in the day was a part of the conditioning for when the child grows up, it's already embedded in his database and he can recall it. You feel what I'm saying? Or she can recall it, and that's what they want to be. So today we look at guns as the gun is violent. In the words of Sharif Adnil Bey, we believe that spoons and forks make people fat. That's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? And so we just need to get a better grip on the mentality of what we educate our children to be, because at some point we're going to need some defense. We're going to need some defense. And let me tell you something. I've seen a few videos that popped up in my thread. Man, those Europeans are not one gun short of defending themselves. And their little children, they see that as a fun weekend out in the woods, shooting at targets, or some are savages and shooting at innocent animals. But they see it as a beautiful day in the woods. And if they get to the point where they're shooting at innocent animals and they have been taught that you're an animal and you ain't got nothing to defend yourself because you were teaching to stay away from that, don't test no gun, we in trouble. I mean, we in trouble. So I'm just saying that we just need to change this way of thinking. You know what I mean? We got to teach responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I mean, I'm not coming for you, Miss Sandra Lee. I'm just saying, for those who listen, we need to teach our children responsibility. You know, the same thing, like air can kill you if you hold your breath. I mean, hold your breath. Water can save you. Water can destroy you. You know what I mean? So we need to see the silver lining, and but we need some defenses. We talk about getting all this money.
Right.
How you going to defend it? That's what I'm saying. But anything you want to go taking us out, brother, I enjoy this conversation, bro. You know, you coming back again, and anytime you get ready. But I just want to say to everybody who's watching, if you are in the Philadelphia area, family, if you are in the Philadelphia area, family, you need to step on down. Step on down. Let me see. Bam. Bam.
Yeah.
Bam. Step on down to Kensington. That's right. That's right. Come on.
I'm gonna use that clip in the beginning so I can promote it. There, they're gonna love it.
Hey, listen, family. Listen, this is one thing about me. Anybody that know me all my life, they know I'm a butcher something. They know I'm a butcher somewhere, and I don't take offense to it. You know what I used to say when I was years ago, Khalif, I used to say, you know, I've been kidnapped by them Europeans, and this ain't my real tongue. This ain't my real language. So you don't hold it to me. You know what I mean? They didn't taught me this language, and you're gonna get mad because I butcher it. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. But anything you want to say in closing, brother?
I would just say, man.
Oh, Miss Sandra said they 30 and 40 now. They know what the deal is. What? That's right. That's right, Miss Sandra Lee. I love you, sis. I'm so glad that you added that comment, because each and every one of you that add a comment, it gives us the opportunity to touch on topics to teach others that are listening. So don't think that I will ever come for you. I love my people, even if I disagree with you. I mean, my opinion could help somebody, and your opinion can supersede mine and help somebody. So it's always good to have a conversation. So salute you for your comment and everybody else. But go ahead, brother. Close us out. What you say?
I would just say, man, I just want everybody out there, man, to celebrate Juneteenth the right way. You know, make sure that they got the Juneteenth flag that was created by Ben Hay. You know, that's the flag I fly. I fly it for a reason. You know, I want everybody to celebrate Juneteenth as the best as they can, you know, and give out the information on Juneteenth. Let people know, like, you know, the relationship between Juneteenth and Black Americans, and how after Juneteenth we were supposed to get our 40 acres in the mule, because that's what I'm telling people. I'm telling people we're supposed to get our just due after Juneteenth. So right now, this is Juneteenth, and we celebrating. Why nobody ain't talking about trying to get no pay? See what I'm saying? So that, you know, we gonna stand on that, and transformative policies, man. We gotta get it by any means necessary. We're gonna talk. We're gonna be on the corner. As we're gonna be on the corner, we're gonna go down City Hall, and we're gonna go to the state capitol, spitting the same info that we could do on the corner, and they're gonna love it for it, because ain't nobody else can do it but us. We're the only people that can speak on the corner and go on legislative hall and actually listen to them.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And family, I appreciate you. Family, listen. Send the love to the family for Moorish World TV. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to swing by, even if I can swing by for an hour or something. I'm going to do my best to swing by, man. Get the wife and the children, put them in the car, take them for a ride, like we going to the grocery store. We going to the grocery store. But I appreciate you, bro. Hit you on the other side, and I don't know if you want to be in that conversation with the Freedmans, but they go. You know, they going in. Ali, them going in.
They're going to go in. They got good information.
Yeah, they're going in. But, brother, I appreciate you, and I see you on the other side, family. If you are able to, please help support Philly 2023 Juneteenth party. All right, big brother. Peace and love. Peace and love. So with that being said, family, I appreciate y'all for joining me here on Moorish World TV, family. Listen, at the end of the day, family, some of y'all are over the hill. You know what I mean? That's right. Some of y'all just like me, over the hill. You know, when we see a young brother like that is so busy and so adamant about his position, it's kind of like what I said about the politician. Where was the politician that Tariq went at, and Tariq talking about that he's giving a fake voice and all that? I said Tariq supposed to reach out to the guy and try to encourage the guy. You don't try to tear the guy down. At least he's in a political position that if you would try to reach out to him, he might be able to position himself to make some change for those in his local community. But you know what I mean? He just attacked them. So at the end of the day, you know, Hey, I mean, FBA Foundation said gay dude. Oh my goodness. But at the end of the day, when we got a brother like Khalif, Khalif is a sharp brother. And that doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that he puts to the table, but you can tell that that brother is zoned in. He's zoned in what he feel that is going to help our people. And so maybe you can assist them in that, or maybe you can give them some more information to broaden the scope. Who knows? Maybe you can give me some information to broaden my scope. But whatever the case may be, family, we gonna get there one day. I think that you're gonna need some defense for real. I think the time is ticking. I do think the time is ticking. I don't think I will see. I'm just telling you me. This is my opinion. I wouldn't get in a energy-filled fight for reparations. I will assist those who have great ideas with my energy, but I wouldn't get in a full-blown fight towards reparations, because I believe that the new time is coming and this time is going out. I believe, that don't mean that it's fact. I believe that all of this stuff is about to come to a crescendo, if you will. And as I said in the temple on Friday, y'all better get ready, because if you can't be happy with a cup of rice as you are with your favorite meal like steak, then you are going to be in trouble. Whatever your favorite meal is, you better be as happy with a cup of rice as you are with your favorite meal, because the time is coming where you might be stuck on rations. Because when you look around, you can see the change if you just pay attention. You can see the signs if you pay attention, So I think preparation is everything for that which is to come, for that which is to come. You look in some of these communities, people coming up missing, that people think that's strange. You don't think it's vigilante teams going out there looking at places on how they can dominate that and annihilate the population, or use I can go on and on with these theories that I think is on the way from what I have been able to see right before my eyes. But at the end of the day, it's okay to fight for reparation. It's okay to even support the cause of reparation. But don't forget to build your own. Don't forget, that's right, get it from the mud. Don't forget that you're going to have to defend yourself one day against something. Don't forget that everything that on your card that you think is a given could just be gone with a press of a button. Your debit card, everything on it could be gone with a press of a button. A press of a button. Just that simple. Just that simple. Everything that you think that have power with it could be done. Just your car is now, if you got a modern car, your car is electronic, is at least 50% dependent upon electronics. And at a press of a button, it can shut down. You can't even run. You can't even run and regroup. Like, it's so many things that I could build with on this topic about, we are putting a lot of energy into reparations and we're neglecting other areas. We're neglecting other areas for our survival, because at the press of a button, your car can shut down. If you have that sort of vehicle, at a press of a button, your water in your house can be gone. At a press of a button, your utilities could be gone. It's just that simple. That stuff that you take for granted, just that simple. So we should also think about the alternative to what we're used to. Put some energy over there, but you better consider over here too. With that being said, family, I'm up out of here. See y'all Saturday. We going back in on that grifter. I be that more you gon' remember. I thought you heard this. I will be that more you gon' remember. I thought you heard this my word. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember.
The Bay front line till the law call my
You
number.
a friend of the Moors, then you's a friend of Shout out to Lord Alba for dropping in tonight. Mr. Jeff, the fact. Shout out to Lord Alba. That's right. For dropping in tonight. Mr. Jeff, the fact. I enjoyed that. Shout out to Khalif. Man. I'm looking forward to the Freedmen Bureau. The Freedmen brothers. Come in the building. It's going to be nice. Salute, family. Y'all have a good night. I see y'all on Saturday night. We turning up again. Peace and love.